with L and R, and today we are going to discuss about the new topic, that is preparation of professional teachers. So let's discuss about the introduction. Teaching is considered both as an art and a science because teaching need competency and motivation. That's why it is not the game of everyone can tackle. It is an art in the science of being an activity which is practiced with suit, and it is a science in the same sense that the activity can be based on a body of systematically derived knowledge. Teaching is a social phenomenon wherein learning is a social phenomenon, wherein learning is a psychological phenomenon. Teaching is a system of action designed and integrated to bring about learning. Teaching is helpful to the students and always motivate to the student to learn new thing. And when the student learn about anything, then there is one thing happen, that is behavior change. When the behavior change of the person, that time they can grow in every sphere of life, right? Then the purposes of good teaching. Why teaching is more important, and what is the purpose behind it? So let's discuss about it. Immediate mastery over the subject with its related skill is important, but advancement toward growth in all spheres of the human personality. It is helpful to the entire development of the person, and it helps to gain the mastery in their own subject. Development of wholesome personality, like because of this, the changing habits of the person, changing attitude, reconstituting ideas and changing interests of the learner. Then acquire, retain and be able to use knowledge, understand, analyze, synthesize and evaluate the knowledge. It helps to achieve the skills. It helps to establish the habits which are constructive for the future, and it develops attitudes which are positive and always motivate to us not give up at any situation, right? Then teaching method. What kind of teaching method we can adapt to learn or to teach more beautifully? A teaching method stands for the effective presentation of the specific contents of the subject in such a way as may be properly grasped and understood by the students. You can choose any strategy, you can choose any method, but the ultimate goals of your student become competent, your students can learn more and more, and the things you have to teach, it will be helpful to the students and contribute for the growth of the students. The term method, relatively an old term, is related with pedagogy. The nature of the subject matter decides the selection of a method for carrying out teaching tasks. The effectiveness of a teaching method is evaluated in terms of mastery over the subject matter by achievement tests. In a teaching method, emphasis is laid over the teaching steps taken for the proper presentation of the subject matter. The students know about how to start the teaching and how to wind up the teaching. Okay, the steps taken in teaching methods are quite rigid and fixed. A teaching method may make use of teaching technique and aid materials for its effective implementation. Then there is some steps which are really helpful to the students, how to make the teaching more effective one. Component of teaching skills associated with different stages of a lesson. Firstly, when we planning, that is the planning stage. Then introductory stage. In planning stage, the component teaching skills are writing instructional objective, what kind of things you want to teach, then selecting the content, which content you want to teach to your students, organizing the content, then selection of audio visual aids material according to your teaching topic, and it will be appropriate for your topic, right? Then introductory stage, here the teacher can creating set for introducing the lesson. It is a very tactful thing to introduce the lesson, so that introduction of the teaching is a skill which give the motivation to the students to listen the entire lesson very enthusiastically, right? Introducing the lesson, a questioning skills. You have to questioning, so that questioning related to the topic, so that your students can try to think about the topic, and when you teach about the topic, that time they can take more knowledge from your teaching. Then presentation stage, it is the actual stage when you teach your topic to the students. Structuring classroom question, which kind of questions you can ask, about prior to the class. Fluency in questioning, logic in the questioning, then probing questioning, questions delivery and distribution, the use of higher order questions, from simple to complex questions you can ask to the students. Then lecturing, explaining the things. Then after that, discussing with your students and demonstrating the thing which students feel difficult, so that they become more familiar. After that, stages of a lesson. Here, illustration with examples. Examples very helpful to understand the things which theory cannot help. If you want to teach the difficult task to the students, priorly you have to discuss with examples. Use teaching aids, stimulating variation, signs and non-verbal cues reinforcement. And here the stages of lesson includes managerial skills also, promoting public participation, recognizing of the class and management of the class, right? Then after that, the closing stage, achieving closure, planned repetition, so that students can learn deeply, giving assignments, evaluating pupils progress, then diagnosing pupil hearing difficulties and taking remedial measures. And also you can know about and observe to the students who have difficulty with the learning. After that, the development of teachers' education. Teachers have acquired complete mastery over knowledge and could also translate into practical life. In India, the importing of education has always been regarded as a noble task, and the teachers of this country had so much renown and prestige that students from Tibet, China and Japan came here to study under them, because our education system and the enthusiasm of our teacher is very rich. First one is monitoring system. Teachers used to give information training in the art of teaching to their favorite students. The method was referred to as the class monitor method. Then teachers training. It was in 1881 to 82 that the Indian Education Commission for the first time put forward a suggestion for the training of teachers. Training schools should be established at plan from which they can conveniently fulfill the demands for teachers. Proper arrangements should be made for the setting up of normal schools and training school inspectors from the funds made available by the regional government. Training schools should be spread over the entire country. There should be separate curricula for graduate and pre-graduate teachers, and the programs for there should also be different. Training should be essential prerequisite for teaching according to the level of the students, level of the teachers. If the teachers going to teach in the primary school, then the requirement is different than if they going to teach for secondary or higher secondary. Then after university teacher, the requirement different at every level of the teacher. Then teachers education expansion. Training facilities. In the last few years, facilities for training teachers have grown manifold, and as a consequence, the number of trained teachers has risen from 5 to 38%, 1951 to 1971 respectively. The number of trained teachers has risen because of an expansion in facilities, because facilities are increased. That's why the trained teachers, the professional teachers also increased. And you can see the huge difference from 51 to 71, 5% to 38%. Then training has become a compulsory prerequisite for teaching profession. Then in-service training, because of the expansion in training facilities, it has become possible to bring about an increase in the number of trained teachers. In-service education, in-service training is very helpful so that the teacher in the profession can know about the new strategies came in the teaching. Then educational qualification. In order to make school education effective, it is essential to keep in view the educational qualification of teachers, affiliation of institutions. The standard of training must also be improved. Affiliation should be offered to them when fulfill all the necessary conditions and requirements of the institution, so that the teacher can attain or obtain the well kind of training. Curriculum reforms. Reform the curriculum is an important step in this direction. The teachers should have knowledge of teaching method, not only content knowledge. The curriculum should be so designed that the teacher has content knowledge. He is trained through corrective teaching. They should have the cooperation and assistance of institutions and schools, and his vocations should be utilized creatively. Okay, then criteria for admission. Clearly specified criteria for admission to training institutions should be designed and laid down, the basis for which should be gender, mental ability as well as educational achievements. In-service training. Pre-service training is not the end of a teacher's professional preparation, because it is essential for the teacher to remain in constant touch with the latest methods of teaching as well as the changes in content knowledge. Then training of untrained teachers. How we train the teacher who are not well prepared. A training course of 1 or 2 years of teachers with less than 8 years experience and below 35 years of age, and correspondence courses along with the necessary practical training for the teachers with more than 8 years of experience and above 35 years of age. Right? After that, organization of teachers education. The teachers training program should be organized in the best possible way. For this, autonomous state teachers training council should be brought into existence, and the following functions. Then providing advice regarding affiliation to universities and the state government, maintaining the standards of the state training institutions, distribution aid to these training establishments, preparing the curriculum for training schools and colleges, making arrangements for in-service training, creating the necessary teaching materials and literature. Qualitative improvement of teachers' education, reorientation of subject knowledge, vitalizing professional studies, improving methods of teaching and evaluation, improvement of student teaching, development of special programs and courses, and revision and improvement of curriculum. These qualities are most in teachers' education. Then educational preparation. Master's degree in his area of nursing expertise or with a doctorate in adult education, credentials with more publications, writing and organizing skills, a continuing learner, clinical expertise, depth of nursing knowledge and skill in trends, its application, interest in the subject, enthusiasm in teaching, skill in working with adult learners, adequate knowledge about teaching skills and methods of teaching, and broad-based knowledge. Then preparation of teacher. Preparation for teaching involves classroom and clinical experiences to acquire the competencies previously identified. The experiences may be acquired in teacher education, teacher preparation courses or focus area are doctoral programs in nursing or schools of education. Teaching institutions, continuing education of firings, working as a teaching assistants and orientation programs are other ways of becoming prepared to teacher. Preparation for and expectation of experience and teaching competencies for appointment depends on the commission of the college or university and the school of nursing. Then organizing professional aspects of teacher preparation programs. Programming of professional courses in nursing is a joint responsibility of a director of continuing nursing education and a dean of school of nursing. Organizational pattern, organizational chart of continuing nursing education showing joint responsibility for the continuing nursing education. The former channels of communication make possible the optional use of the nursing field to explore the needs of continuing nursing education, to set priorities, to plan courses and to teach them. University faculty may be assigned to continuing education in nursing as a part of the regular teaching load or an extra compensation balance. Then orientation skill training program. Orientation training program introduces a new employee into these basic aspects of her job. In hospital field, if any new nurses are appointed, first the supervisor has to discuss with them to job chart, policies, procedures and fulfillment of objectives, standing orders, policies of institution. It is well oriented to her working situation. She will be getting adjusted to the new environment very easily and do the work effectively. Orientation skill training has to be given for development of knowledge and skills. Management skills and leadership training for the administrations and the senior persons, for the persons who possess high qualifications who is having the chances for promotion, and the supervisors. The authorities will give in-service training to obtain management skill and leadership skills, order to supervise the institution to achieve the targets by teaching goals and preparing persons to solve their problems. Staff development programs. There are several components under staff development program. There are orientation, in-service education, continuing education includes self-instruction, attending short-term courses, workshops, seminars and presentation of scientific papers. Then the faculty administrator. Teaching is part of his responsibility. He should possess a high degree of administrative skill. He must assess and uses the various abilities of different faculty members. Search for faculty with varied of talents helps the faculty members to strengthen their teaching skills, provides conducive environment for faculty members and learners to promote personal and professional development, so that if we provide the conducive environment to the faculty, they can more focus to learn deeply and deliver the lecture to the students as well. Okay. Then gives adequate orientation, creating opportunities on the job, which contributes faculty growth. Encourages supplemental education and creativity. Free conducive environment facilitates the faculty members to explore new concepts, to develop imaginative approaches to help the nurses to meet their learning needs. Then fosters the expansion of learners' talent. Faculty members must accept responsibility helping the institution meet its goals and must learn how to work with colleagues to bring about desired changes. Here, the person can learn the teamwork and cooperation. Adequate administrative support permits the maximum use of faculty time for their effective performance. Supports his faculty and accepts responsibility, encourages team spirit, working with other members, and recognizes the person's contribution. After that, teacher preparation in classroom management. Preparation programs should focus on the following two recommendations. Provide teacher candidates with instructional approaches for classroom management through coursework and guided practice with feedback. Address the challenges facing teacher candidates and new teachers in creating a positive classroom context. Instructional approaches for classroom management. Instructional material that students find educationally relevant, a planned sequential order that is logically related to skill development at students' instructional level. Frequent opportunities for students to respond to academic tasks, for example, the use of response cards, choral responding, and peer tutoring are ways to increase such opportunities. Guided practice, immediate feedback, and error correction. After that, address the challenges facing teacher candidates and new teachers in creating a positive classroom context. Creating a physical arrangement that cases traffic flow, minimize distraction, and provides teachers with good access to students in order to respond to their questions and better control behavior. Meaning efficient use of classroom time, include transitions between various classroom activities, ensuring that the nature and quality of student interactions is positive. Clearly communicating appropriate behavior for particular classroom activities. For example, students may be expected to interaction with one another during cooperative learning activities, but not during independent work at their cells. Then, rules and routines of classroom. Rules should be kept to a minimum to allow students to remember them. Rules should contain language that is simple and appropriate to the development level of the students and classroom. Rules should be positively stated. Rules should be developed for various situations or context as needed. For example, physical education class or field trips. Rules should be consistent with the school-wide behavior plan. Provide professional development on classroom management like to school-wide behavior. Identify several positively stated behavioral expectations that apply to all students and staff in all settings. For example, be respectful, and identify behavioral examples for each expectation that replace inappropriate behaviors. Keep hallways clean and use polite language with each other. Teach and practice the expectations at the beginning of the school year and periodically throughout the year, before or after school holiday break. Use effective procedures that encourage and reinforce pro-social behavior, specific, contingent, present, or a foreseen economy. Use evidence-based practices to discourage and reduce inappropriate behavior. Record overcorrection, timeout from positive reinforcement, and monitor the effectiveness of the school-wide plan using data. We have discussed various kind of things regarding how to prepare the professional teachers. I hope you have clear with this. If you feel any kind of problem, then kindly inform me and write in the comment section. Thank you very much. I hope you have clear with this.